Oh yes, women can experience 9 different types of orgasms. Isn't it amazing? You might have heard about the clitoral one, maybe the G-spot, but what? 9 types? I'm 𝗪𝗍𝗂𝗏, a sex and relationship coach. And if you want to experience orgasmic sex and fulfilling relationship, you're in the right place. In this video, I will explain to you all the different types of orgasms that women can experience. Before we go ahead, make sure you give a thumb up to the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be releasing videos about conscious relating and sexuality. You don't want to miss that. Let's get started. Number 1, the clitoral one. So it's very explosive, it's like a volcano. And it's intense, beautiful. You can feel it mostly around the genitals area. Usually it doesn't last that long and often it's linked to a kind of like loss of a little bit of sexual desire or just a decrease of it because there's a lot of energy to get released. It can be reached within a few minutes from stimulation. You can also have multiple orgasms. However, the second and the third one usually feel a bit less intense than the first one because the energy got released through each orgasm as they are explosive like a volcano, as we said. Number 2, the G-spot. It feels yummy and it's beautiful. It can feel sometimes as a release of tensions. However, it's very pleasurable and the waves of pleasure often are not only around the genitalia but also flow through the whole body and system, which feels great. And women can experience them in a row and it doesn't really feel that they're losing energy with it because most of the time is implosive, so the energy can flow through the body and doesn't get released. Often it's very emotional, so the G-spot is connected with the pelvic nerve and these lead to sometimes have cathartic orgasms and quite emotional one. And these lead for a woman to experience an openness of her heart when she releases those unpleasant emotion or stagnant emotion from her system. She feels lighter and her heart feels more open, so she can feel more love towards herself and to connect as well on a deeper level with her partner. With the G-spot orgasm, sometimes it can lead to squirt. However, the two are not always linked and one can happen without the other one. If you want to learn everything you need to know about the G-spot, have a look at my video, The Truth About G-spot. I'm going to put the link below, in which I will talk in what it is, what it is, how to stimulate, everything you want to know about that spot. Such a great spot. I like to call it sacred spot or goddess spot. Feels much better. And I have another video on the topic, which is about learning how to squirt. So if you would like to learn how to do it, or maybe you want to learn how to do it for your partner, then have a look at that video. And the link, you will find it below. Number 3, anal orgasm. Yummy. It's one of my favorites somehow. I really like it. It's like a thunderstorm. Oh, super intense. Animalistic almost, I would say. Very like passionate, very intense. It often comes with a release of tension from the hips and the feeling afterwards are amazing. It releases a lot of shame and guilt that sometimes we hold up tight around our anus. And it's very wonderful to really have it to relax as well the hips and allow energy to flow through the spine. If you want to learn more about it, you can have a look at my video on how to unlock anal orgasm, and I'm going to put the link below. It's one of my favorite. I really like it. It feels yummy. It requires a bit of time, so don't expect to reach it within a few minutes from stimulations. But it's beautiful and you can unlock it. There are so many nerve endings around the anus, and it would be a pity to not use them, to not utilize this network that is there for your pleasure. If you're enjoying this video, give a thumb up to it, it really supports me. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be releasing a lot of videos about conscious sexuality and relating. Number 4, the A-spot orgasm. What? Where is the A-spot? So the A-spot is on the upper wall, just behind the G-spot. So if you insert the fingers, imagine that this is a yoni. Yoni is a Sanskrit word for vagina and vulva, which means sacred temple. How beautiful and yummy is this name? Seriously. So if you insert the finger a few centimeters in, you can feel a spongy area, but it doesn't feel as rough as the G-spot. That's the A-spot. This orgasm as well can lead to squirt. However, the two, as I said for the G-spot, they don't always have to come together. It feels great and yummy, and women can experience multiple orgasms in a row. It can be explosive, but more often the energy flows throughout the whole body and activates the whole body. It doesn't stay just on the genitals. The number 5 is the cervical orgasm. It's very mystical. In the reflexology of the vagina, the cervix is connected with the heart space. So it really helps to open the heart, and it's also a very implosive orgasm, which means that energy doesn't get released, but actually flows throughout the whole body. And this translates into sensation, tingling, warm throughout the whole body, not only around the genitalia. It feels amazing, and it really opens the heart and connects women more to consciousness. Somehow it's really connecting women to their soul. And afterwards, I feel this sense of bliss, wholeness, and connectedness. Not only with themselves, but beyond that. Nipple orgasm. Feels amazing. It's really helped to open the heart, of course, around the chest area. I didn't think that actually my breasts could give me so much pleasure, but they can. There are a lot of nerve endings in this area, and if stimulated in the right way and be given the right attention, then they can lead to so much pleasure and yumminess. The clitoris and the nipple are connected in the same spot in the brain, and that can lead to so much pleasure that often is neglected. Breasts in women's sexuality play a very fundamental and important role, and we shouldn't forget about the breast. I made a video on breast massage, which is going to support you in enhancing sensitivity, self-love, and awakening more pleasure around your breast. Have a look at the video here. And I will also put the link below so you can also check about it afterwards. In women's sexuality, the arousal flows through the mouth all the way down, through the breast and through the genitalia. And so the breast is a very important part in women's sexuality. And it's best not to forget about it, but to give the right attention to it. Number 7, throat orgasm. You probably haven't heard about this, did you? Well, the good news is that giving a nice head can actually give you so much pleasure, beyond what you thought. So in women, the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra around the genitalia, and the throat chakra are very linked energetically. So as we open the throat chakra, is also helping to charging and opening the second chakra, according to many sexual traditions, such as Taoism and Tantra. Many women do a blowjob just for the pleasure of their partner, but they are missing out because they can actually experience a lot of pleasure, and it really helps to release the contraction that women hold on the throat chakra. Somehow the tendency is that we contract often this chakra and energy doesn't flow as well. So when we do that, we help to open this up, and it feels good. So it's a win-win. If you want to learn how to give a mind-blowing and sacred blowjob, check my video on it. I'm going to put the link below so you can see it later. Number 8, full body orgasm. That feels awesome. It's the kind of, sometimes well known as the tantric orgasm or energy orgasms. It has been given different name. A lot of people ask me, is that a myth? Or is that the real thing? It's a real thing. and I've coached many clients in unlocking it. Somehow, most people think it is something impossible, but it's not. With some practice and awareness, you can also reach that. The energy orgasm is a movement of energy, of sexual energy, throughout the whole body that gives kind of like goosebumps, tingling, warmth feeling throughout the whole body. And my first experience with it was actually during a shaking meditation, so it doesn't have to be linked always with sex. However, if you're having it as you're making love, it's also amazing and very powerful. And after you experience that, there is a sense of feeling whole and ecstasy and bliss. It's so beautiful to not having just a sexuality that stays on the genitals and doesn't move. We want to include the genitals, but to include the whole body. Even this morning, actually, I was feeling a little bit down. And then what happened is that I made love with my partner. And we didn't make love just, friction of genitals, but we made amazing love making in which we had multiple full body orgasms. And as I was experiencing that, I was feeling this state of bliss and ecstasy and openness. My thoughts shift and change, and those stagnant emotions that were there just disappear. Number 9, blended orgasm. So I've been speaking about them one by one. But you know what? Women can experience them blended. So you might have a G-spot orgasm as you're experiencing an energy orgasm, or maybe an A-spot and a G-spot together, or cervix and G-spot. So there is a possibility of mixing them up, which feels great. A lot of times it's hard actually to say which one was where, what, no, I just came, but where was it? So sometimes it's very clear, and sometimes there is a feeling of having them blended. So many that sometimes it can get almost overwhelming. But don't worry. Having orgasm and unlocking different types, it's something that you can learn. And the orgasmic journey is actually a beautiful journey. You don't need to feel overwhelmed from the start, feeling maybe not enough because you don't experience them yet. You just haven't learned about it. Having orgasm is something that you can learn. If you would like more guidance and take a step further in your orgasmic journey, have a look through my 3-part video series on the multi-orgasmic woman. You will find the link below.